Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Clinically Delulu podcast. Thank you.
I think we are so excited to be here. This is a dream come true at this point.
The 2 weeks of planning really, really made it so special.
Honestly, if this, works out for us, I'm gonna say that anyone can make a podcast.
I think anyone can make a podcast. Just you gotta find your peeps,
Yeah.
You
gotta work for it.
Exactly. So I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Nadia, but you will hear Ali call me Nani. That is our nicknames for each other, and it's weird if we don't call each other that. So, but I go by Nadia, whatever you like. And I am one of your co-hosts.
And I'm your other co-host. My name is Alicia, but Nani will call me Ali because it does sound weird hearing my full government name like that. It's just what we're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. And I think the first order of business is going to be explaining a little bit about how we got here and how we decided to start a podcast. I think my first memory of it was, I don't know what I was doing, but I think I was laying in bed, miserable as one is. Probably a Sunday night. I had to work the next day.
Yeah, figures.
And I was looking into it and I was like, oh my gosh, like, wouldn't it be so cool to start a podcast, like, just about the things that we love? Because I'm sure there is podcasts that deal with, like, what we like books, K-pop, like, these kinds of social media type things, But I was like, I think we would be really funny together. So then I think I texted her in the middle of the night and I was like, it was a picture of a lady in the suit like this, and she was like, and I texted, I have a proposition for you, and she said something like, oh Lord, or like, oh my God, what? And then that's why I was like, let's start a podcast.
Honestly, I was all for it though. I always wanted to create something that was like that you could call your own. Like that is so cool. Not only something that, people will listen to, but people will share with other people. And especially because, like you said, like, yes, there are people that talk about the same things that we do, but I feel like sometimes the things we say and the jokes we make are so niche and so like us that no one can do this like us.
Exactly. I think it's going to be so fun. And even if it's like, I don't think we're doing this to be like huge stars and we're going to be super famous. I mean, it'd be nice, but I think it's just more like fun, and we'll get to talk about our favorite things. We don't live in the same area. We live pretty far from each other. So I think this will be a good way for us to like catch up and talk about our things and just stay in the loop,
Yeah. I think it's a very good way to have our weekly debriefs where we talk about everything and really talk about it in detail, because we'll text each other, but it's not the same as like FaceTiming and being like, oh my God, this and that, and like explaining stories in detail.
Exactly. And it's so hard to text over some things. Like sometimes like I'll send a voice message, but even that, it's like I really only send like 2 or 3 minute audios, and it's like at that point you don't want to get too much into detail with it,
Yeah.
And
I will send my 5-minute TED Talks. That's
she goes off like there's 6 minutes and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this on my car ride, like my own little podcast.
You save them just for me.
I know. I'm like blanking right now. What was I gonna say? Oh, that I was so scared. So I had messaged you and I was like, let's start a podcast. And I thought you'd be like, so I was like, I don't want to do this alone. But look at us now. Hey, look at us now.
I know, right? I honestly would have said yes, though. Like, I think it's cool. Like, why not talk about the things that we like, that we like to do, that we like to see, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, should we get into the
Um,
solos now?
yes. Let's do how about you go first and tell us a little bit about yourself?
So, I am 21 years old. Just turned it a couple months ago. Finally,
Wow.
legal. All right. I was born on the 15th of August. It makes me a Leo. I think I am very much a Leo. Like, I am very stubborn and I'm very. That's it. That's all I know about Leos. I forgot everything else. I'm blanking.
I know I feel
No,
like I
but
don't
I
know
think
about
I'm.
any other like uh
Yeah,
signs except
zodiac
my
sign.
own and then the ones that my friends are. Like that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I do think that I'm very stubborn. I wouldn't say I'm like self-centered. I do think about myself and I like myself and I like
Mm.
attention, but I'm for the people. I love my people. um Another thing that I have is my MBTI. I am ENFP. I wouldn't consider myself like an extrovert, but I think I'm very much an ambivert. It all depends on the situation and how I'm feeling. Like I will
Mhm.
talk to anyone about anything if you just bring up the conversation. But at the same time, if I'm feeling like weird, like I'm stuck in a weird situation, I will not talk. Like I'll be like, all right, guys, nice seeing you. Very, very awkward.
You'll know your
Um.
MBTI in an Uber. Like that's when it gets real.
Oh
Like
yes,
if you're the
yes.
type of person to go into an Uber and chit chat with the driver, girl, be
Yeah,
so for
no.
real right now.
What's funny is when they're like older men and they like try to make conversation to like not make it awkward. I'm
I'm
like,
like,
dude,
please
it's
just leave
okay.
me
You can
alone.
just play some music. Just
Right.
yeah, please. Personality wise, I'd say I'm a very ambitious person. Like I like to do a lot of things and I like having a lot of hobbies and learning a lot of stuff. Um but in all actuality, like I don't me as a person, I don't know what I would consider myself. Like I don't know. I would need other people's opinions and then I'd gather them all,
Mhm.
put them in a file, and then I'd be like, this is how I am. This is what I'm like. I'm a very
Yeah.
loud person. I speak loudly, very loudly. I've had people tell me that I need to lower the volume, and they've like clicked in front of me. I'm like, what do you mean by that? um,
Oh my god, this girl at
on
the
my
movies will be so like mind you, I like talking at the movies. Like I like making chit chat at the movies, but
yeah,
this
yeah.
girl will be like, "Oh my god, did you see?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck
That's funny.
up."
I just don't realize like how loud I am. It's like not. I just don't register it. I'm out of touch when I speak. I do like to chit chat during movies, like a lot,
Me too.
excessively.
It makes it more fun.
It's fun, exactly. Especially when you guys are watching the same thing. Like you want to know the other person's reaction or
Yeah,
the other
especially
person's,
like horror movies. Like we're gonna talk through the movie because
oh,
I'm scared. Like we're gonna
yeah,
make
yeah, yeah.
fun of the
I
thing that they just did.
Exactly. I need to distract myself. If not, I won't pay attention to the movie. Trust me. I put on my introducing me post on our Instagram that my favorite
Yeah, follow us
color
on
is all
Instagram.
shades. Ah, clinically
Uh,
Delulu.
at Clinical Lulu.
I thank you. I
Hmm.
put that my favorite color is blue. It is blue. I like all shades of blue, but the color scheme was not adding up once I added a black color. I love the color black, right? But putting it in that template was not. It wasn't hitting.
Just wasn't
So I
aesthetic.
just put blue. Yeah, yeah. I just put colors of blue. But I do like the color black, and I like the color blue. And sometimes I'll throw in a little pink, but it all depends, on how I'm
Mm,
feeling on the day.
right.
Another thing is I currently am attending university. I am a marine biology major. Um, it's been a long journey to get to marine biology, and speaking clearly, I will tell you that I will probably switch my major again.
Oh my god,
I want to
no.
say I've switched my major. Girl, listen. I want to say I've switched my major around 6 times. So, the first the first major I ever went into college with was psychology. And then I switched to music, and then I switched to archaeology, and then anthropology, and then law school, and then I finally settled on marine biology. This is a long time coming. I've been in college for 3 years. I'm just now attending university. So we'll see where the road takes us, honestly.
Okay.
It could change. It could change again.
That's
But
all right.
I think for now, marine biology is sticking with me. I don't know. I like the ocean. I like marine animals.
Mhm.
I like for some reason I really like learning about tectonic plates.
Okay. Go off.
So why? You could like kill me and I still
I
would
feel
not
like
know how to tell
that's the
you.
only lesson that I learned in like what is it like science class like that the tectonic plates part stuck with me. I was like, "Whoa."
Wow.
This
Anything
is
could
something
happen.
I was like this is something I'm going to need to learn in the future as if it would affect me.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean
You
shoot.
never know. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about my favorites. So as of right now, currently, my favorite book, I honestly wouldn't know how to tell you. Like, I have a lot of favorites, but they all
Mm.
depend. So right now, one of my favorite series has been The Cruel Prince on display behind me. The Cruel Prince. I am waiting for the second part of that duology to come out. Very exciting. We'll review as soon as it comes out. We'll read it. Um, Another one of my favorites has been Sorcery of Thorns. It is a standalone book. It is a fantasy book. Um, I don't know. It's just something about it. Like I just like fantasy. Something about like the magic, the like escapism, being able to try to insert yourself into a world that is not obviously real is so like wow to me personally. So fantasy is like my favorite genre. Another thing, a favorite show, I wouldn't say I have a favorite show only because I don't watch a lot of shows. But I will say that one show I've always kept up with has been Grey's Anatomy. Don't ask me why. I don't want to be a doctor, but I love doctor drama. I've watched, I think, about 18 seasons of it, and I
My
am just
god.
now finishing season 19, I think, something like that. A favorite movie. So, my favorite movie growing up was Finding Nemo. Seeing as I'm now a marine biology student, that makes so much sense. Like, girl,
Very full circle.
what are you thinking? Right? Um, my favorite Disney princess is Jasmine. Love her so much. Um, oh, I'm gonna talk a little bit about my K-pop journey. So, so I got into K-pop in my junior year. I had a friend who was really into K-pop, and they introduced me to it. Right, I learned a little bit about the songs. At the time, I was really into BTS, and I was like, "Oh my god, BTS!" And my bias was V. Actually, is not anymore. We've switched. I'm not loyal.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sorry. Sorry to all the armies out there, but it's just it is what it is. I got into it 2018, and then right after that, I got out of it. I want to say like 2019. And then after COVID, I came to my best friend Nani's house, and she introduced me to this little group called Stray Kids. At the time, Stray Kids' number one song was God's Menu and Backdoor. And she showed me both, and immediately I something clicked in my brain. I was like, hold on a minute. guys, something's not making sense right now. So during that time in 2018, when I was into like BTS and K-pop and whatever, my friend had actually introduced me to Stray Kids. The first song I had ever listened to was I Am You. And I remember specifically like the exact moment where I was, the exact text that I sent my friend right after I listened to the song. Like just the setting was like, it's in my brain, ingrained. So when I heard God's Menu, I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. I know these guys. So I was like, I went into a spiral. I went into a spiral. I went out to TikTok and I was like, oh my God, these guys, like I know these guys, right? And then started my journey as a baby stay. I would watch like, the normal things that people would watch. I'd watch like the guides and I'd watch like the funny moments and the trailers, the music videos, all of that. And then since then I've been into Stray Kids. I've been repping them.
In the
Anywhere
stable.
I go, people are like, right? Anywhere I go, people are like, oh, la la la, music, and I'm like, music? Do you mean like what type of music? You mean K-pop? I'll talk about K-pop. I'll talk
Wait,
about the Stray Kids
I have a
anytime.
funny story about the first time that I told her about like Stray Kids. So I remember it was a weekend that she had come down to visit me, and I remember maybe I had been into K-pop like at that time for like a month or something, and I was so excited. I was like, I am about to show her these bomb ass songs. I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like, this is gonna be so good. And I remember we had gotten into the car to go somewhere. I had it queued up. I had it ready. I was like, God's Menu by Stray Kids, because at that point that song, oh my God, revolutionary. I was like, this song is so good. Still is so good. And I had it queued up and I played it and she got in the car and she was like, oh Lord. And I was like, wait, 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 wait. I was like, just listen. Just listen. It's a good song. Just listen. And we had listened to it for a little bit. We were driving and she goes, wait, this is actually kind of good. And I was like, see, I was like, this is what I'm talking about. And then we got back home and I put on the music video and then she was watching it and she saw like all the Stray Kids members and she was like, oh my gosh, I really like this. And I was like, I know. I was like, it's so good. And another
It's good,
memory,
right?
I was like, you should totally get into it. Back into it. And I remember watching, or we had been like, we had been Zooming, not even FaceTime, it was Zoom. And
Oh my God, yes.
we would play YouTube videos. And I knew like the Stray Kids members' names and everything. And I would put up a picture of them and I'd be like, okay, what's this one's name? And I would quiz her on the fucking members' names. And until she finally learned them, I was like, okay, who is this? And I forgot who you would keep getting like mixed up on. It's probably like Han
Okay.
and
So my thing was that I knew who Banchan and Changbin were. I knew them, like I knew their faces, right? But I would switch their names so much. Like I'd be like Changbang. Why would I
they do have a lot of
why
like
would I do
similar
that?
names.
Yeah. And I would always switch up Lino and Ian. I
Mm.
like to me those were the two that looked exactly the same. Like I could not tell them apart until I finally like I figured it out and I learned.
Isn't it so
And now
funny
to this
though
day
how exactly like it
you will show
now
me a picture of their lips and I'll be like, that's this guy.
no,
That is
literally
him.
now I'm
I
like
know
I
him.
could literally you could show me a big toe and I'd be like, yeah, yep, I know who that is.
Literally that. Wow. That's Delulu. That is
Oh.
Delulu. That is crazy.
This is everything.
I know. I am currently reading. Let me pull up my Goodreads. So I am currently reading book number 5 of the selection called The Crown by Kira Cass.
Oh,
So I got into the selection when I was in like I was in like I want to say senior year of high school. Um I read the first 3 and I was so into it and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good." And then I told Nani. Nani read it and Nani said, "Do not read the last 2, girl. Don't read them." And I was like, I was like, I have to read them. I never read them because I took her words into consideration and I never read them, right?
Oh my god.
But now I have created a spinny wheel for myself of series that I have to finish. I spun the wheel and the wheel said that I had to finish the selection, and I'm currently on book 5. I won't speak more about it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'll say. I'm rereading Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban because the new pop-up edition came out, the Mina Lima edition. Um, I have the first two. I just got the third one, and it's very fun. Harry Potter is one of my favorite series. Also, it's just like a world that you can revisit whenever you'd like, and it's fun. I like it. I love it. So I'm rereading that, and then I'm also reading the new Nico D'Angelo book by Rick Riordan. I don't remember what it was called. I think it's called like The Stars and the Moon or something like that.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was like, do you know what it's called?
I will follow back up on that.
It's called The Sun and the Star. That's what it's called. And it's about Nico D'Angelo and Will Solis. I'm like 5 pages in, but I already love it. Uncle Rick will never fail me. Ever. So,
oh my gosh.
Just putting that out there. So, another thing about me, I'm very ambitious. Like I said before, I like to collect a lot of things. So, I will collect photo cards, of course. I collect OT8 Stray Kids. I am insane in the head. I collect 4 members of Twice. I collect Nmix Saliun, and I collect Sungwa and San from 80s. As of right now, that's about all the photo cards I collect. They come and go. Sometimes I'll be like, actually, I don't want to collect such and such member, or I'll be like, I don't want to collect such and such group, just because it's a little taxing to have to collect so many people.
And
But
expensive.
they come and go, and expensive. I collect books. Obviously, I love books. I like special edition books. I like anything with a pretty cover. I'm like, I love this. I collect Sunny Angels and I collect Smiskies. I collect Funko Pops. That is my thing. That was the first thing I ever think I started collecting. I love Funko Pops so much. Those little bobbly heads with the big eyes. Oof. I go crazy for them. This one up here, it is Evelyn from The Mummy. Nani got that for me at a Books and Books. Love you for that, Bestie.
I did?
Yes, you got it for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Period.
Yeah, we were together once. We went to Books and Books, and I was like, "OMG, girl, the mummy," and you were like, "OMG," and you bought it for me, and I was like,
I don't remember.
You're the best. There are things that I remember that you don't remember.
Yeah,
you remember.
no.
I'm like, oh god. And then over here we have Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. The Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite Halloween Christmas movie. You can call it what you want, but they're both. It's a Halloween and a Christmas movie, and I love it. Don't ask me why. I love it. And I think the last thing that I wanted to say about me is that I have a couple of favorite animals. Being a marine biology major, I have to talk about this. I love squids and octopuses. Any cephalopod, I love, right? So my favorite is a Dumbo octopus. It's so cute. And I like vampire squids. And I like otters. And that's it. I think. I could go on, but I can't. I should not.
Keep it to the top 3.
Right. All right, so my co-host over here, anything you want to tell us about yourself?
I definitely was not as prepared as Ali was. So please bear with me. This is like the when an interviewer asks you, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Complete blank. So I'm gonna
I
try to.
actually looked up questions. I looked up some questions last night, and the only thing that would come up was, "Oh, what to say when you're being interviewed for a job?" I'm like, this feels like a job interview, but it's
It
not
does.
that, bestie.
I'm like,
Trust
guys,
me.
please, please, please save this podcast. Please listen to us. I'm begging you. Okay,
Have some mercy.
please. Okay, so like I said, my name is Nadia. I go by Nani. No relation to the big sister from Lilo and Stitch, which I found out her name is Nani. That is, I was like, I was like, oh, okay, representation. Okay, anyways,
Get out of here.
so I'm 24. God, I'm 24. I know I'm ancient. In the world of K-pop, I'm literally senile. Like, as a K-pop fan,
Sorry, bestie.
I'm dead already. Like, God forbid. Anyways, I'm a Virgo, so that means I'm literally insane. That means that
Okay.
means um, and it's so funny because like some people are like, no, I don't believe in the signs or
Zodiacs.
whatever, but every Virgo I've met, literally twins. Like twins. We're twins. Like to the T, to-do list. Like I need order. I need like certainty. I need instructions. I need rules. That's what I need. Like I'm just insane like that. Anyways, my MBTI, let me look. I know I wrote it down because I can never remember it. Let me see if I can find it.
You
So I'm
are
an
the opposite
IN.
of me.
Yeah, we're complete opposites. I'm an INTJ. Very introverted. Like I'm so introverted when when we go on trips together, I'll make Ali ask for ketchup for me because I don't like talking to people. I get so anxious. Like if I'm in the I think
And
I've
I'm
gotten
willing to
better.
do it.
It's just it's a good balance. So, I think I've definitely gotten better with talking to people. Like if somebody comes up to me and starts a conversation, like I can try to follow it, like I can try to like keep up. But you will never see me going up to a person and be like, "Hey girl, so what do you like?" No, I can't do that. No. That's my worst
So
nightmare.
one good example of me and Nani going out is like we'll go out to a K-pop event, we'll go out somewhere, whatever, and I'll see a girl with a cute outfit. I'll be like, Nani, oh my god, her outfit's so cute. And Nani will be like, oh my god, yes, I agree. And I'll go up to the girl and be like, I love your outfit. And Nani will agree silently from the back. But that's okay. That's just how we are.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just the way I am. Just the way I'm built.
It
Um
is what it is.
it is what it is. My I'm like speed running these questions because again, I don't know what to say. Um my personality, like Ali said, like I think it's very hard to say yourself about your own personality. Like I can't be like I'm a very this person because I don't know. I don't know. I'm a very chill person. I'm a homebody. Like I like staying at home. It takes a lot for me to go out. Like my weekends, I have to plan my weekends to be like, okay, you're going to the bookstore today, and even day of, I'll be like, oh, do I really want to go? Like, should I just stay home? I'm a very homebody, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much to me. Um, my favorite
I
color,
think with time we'll be figuring out, like the fans will figure out just
right,
who
right.
we are
The
exactly.
listeners.
Of course, of course.
My favorite color, I don't know. I don't think I don't want to say I don't have a favorite color, but it's very I like sage green. My Kindle is sage green, so she's cute. I like pink. And I like purple. BTS Army. Um, um, I am not in university. I actually graduated last year. I have a bachelor's in health sciences and I have an associate's degree in general studies. She's educated. Um only took me a fucking million years to do it, but we did it. We here. We have a degree. And it's so good not being in school. Like, guys, you have no idea. When I deleted that Canvas app, oh, it was the best day of my life. I love not being in
Relief.
school. Sorry to say for you, but I've done my time. I finished. I'm so happy. I'm done. But yeah, so I got my bachelor's in health sciences. And I honestly, back to the Grey's Anatomy thing, I think I chose like healthcare because at the time in high school, I was watching Grey's Anatomy and I was like, yeah, I guess I could do that. Now mind you, I was not a doctor. I started off when I was getting my associate's degree, I started in nursing and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be an RN. Quickly found out I did not want to be an RN. I was like, this is definitely not for me. But I found out pretty early on. I think it was like after my first year in college, I was like, oh my God, I hate this. So then I was like, fuck it, let me just change it. And I changed it to health sciences, with like a focus in healthcare management, but I don't know what we'll get from that. I don't know. Let's see. And
We'll
now
figure
I
it
guess,
out. I think with the
yeah.
podcast, eventually, we'll
I'm
know.
literally a little girl, so it's okay. So I have so much time to figure it out because I'm literally a 24-year-old teenager, so it's fine.
Exactly. The rest of our lives.
I'll go ahead and talk about some of my favorites. For favorite books, I really, like you said, it's so hard to choose. Like, I think I would need, this has to be like a future episode because I think I would need to do extensive research on this because I don't know. Like, I'm blanking right now. I've read a lot of good books.
I'd have to really debrief.
Exactly. I guess I could talk about how I got into reading. I think I first got into reading, it was in middle school, maybe like 6th or 7th grade. And one of my friends at the time, she was like, oh my gosh, you have to read this book. And I was like, girl, I'm not reading a book. What the heck? I was like, this is not fun. And that book was Maximum Ride by James Patterson. And girl, when I tell you, I read that book and I found out there was a subplot of romance, I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, give me the next one. And that was the first that was the first series I ever got into, was the Maximum Ride series. So good. I think I don't even know how many books there is. There's like what, like 8 or something? Like 7 or 8?
I think there's
Um
like 9.
yeah. I know they added a new one like not too long ago, like the final rendition, which I have yet to read, guys. Maybe I'll do a Maximum Ride reread. But it's funny because I tried to reread the series like maybe like 3 years ago and I was like, "Oh my god, this is terrible." Like it's like you can tell it was written for kids. I was not my big ass, like it's definitely a children's book, but it's still good. I love it. I love the characters. So good. Like, special place in my heart. And then I think after that, that's when I really got into it, and I got into the 2014 faves: Hunger Games, Divergent, Fault in Our Stars. The classics, the literature classics. Okay. um, and that was basically my introduction, and then from there it was just a downward spiral into just everything. One of my favorite series is the Percy Jackson series. It's so good. I love it. I'm so excited for the upcoming series that they're making on Disney. I'm so excited. It's gonna be so good, and they finally, like, the casting is perfect. It's so good. So hopefully it lives up to the hype. I mean, it's Disney, so I think it'll be good. Let me see. What's next? Favorite shows? I don't really have a lot of favorite shows. I think the only show that I've ever like completed, because I'm a chronic like starter and then I won't finish it. Like, same thing with series. Like, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna finish it. Like, I don't care. That's my toxic trait.
I cannot
Um
I cannot DNF a book, like, for the life of me. Like,
oh, no,
I
no, no.
I just
Yeah,
won't. I
same.
can't. I have to
I can't DNF a book,
I
but
have
I
to
can
finish
DNF a
it.
series.
I can't do that either. Like, I
Yeah.
need to know what
Yeah,
happens
no.
at the end. Even if I don't
I don't
like it, I need
I
to
don't
know.
think I've ever DNF'd a book because I'm too far in. I think the only show, like, for some reason, the only show that's coming to mind right now is One Tree Hill. I watched this in high school. Such a good show. I love that show. I might do a rewatch actually, and I like Gilmore Girls. But before everybody like started shitting on it, like everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, Rory is such a annoying main character." I was like, "You guys just vibe. Like I'm just here to vibe, guys."
I've never watched Gilmore Girls, but I know a lot of people don't like it because Rory is quote unquote annoying.
I mean, she
I wouldn't know
is,
though,
but
like I
it's
really
like,
have never watched it.
yeah. I mean, I'm just there for the
That's
vibes,
the point.
guys.
That's the point
Like,
of her.
it's fall. They're in a cute little town. Like, she is just vibing. I don't care. I'm just here for the
Yeah, yeah,
drama.
yeah.
Favorite movies?
Another thing with One Tree Hill, um, one time Nani told me to watch One Tree Hill, and I did. I watched up to like season 4 or something like that. But like
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm very bad with shows. I will not keep up with shows. Never in the life of me. I'm just my attention span is like this. You need to step it up
No, you're more
for
of a
me to
movie
actually pay attention to
person.
you.
You're a movie person, and I'm a
I love
show
movies.
person. I don't watch a lot of movies like at all. Like yesterday, I was gonna watch
I love
Spider-Man, and
movies.
then I just didn't. I was like, I don't want to. Maybe I'll watch it tonight though.
I think I think I've rewatched The Phantom of the Opera. I want to say a good like 20 times now,
I've
which
watched.
is
Oh, actually,
insane.
I do have a favorite movie. I just remembered. My favorite movie is
Yeah, I just
Anastasia, the
forgot.
1997 Fox classic. Okay, it's my
So
favorite
true,
movie.
bestie.
I will. This is
I'm s
definitely our niche. Like your niche is Phantom of the Opera. You'll read like retellings, anything Phantom of the Opera, and my thing is Anastasia. I love Anastasia. I had the CD on DVD, and I would play it all the time. I still have it. It's somewhere in my garage. So good. So good. So good. So good. Love it.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that now, though, because I completely forgot about the Phantom of the Opera.
I know.
Mind you, that is my niche. The 2004 Emmy Rossum, Gerard Butler, Patrick Wilson version, girl. I go hold on, guys, because I own it.
On
Because what
Blu-ray.
happens is on Blu-ray. Because what happens is that I first watched it on Netflix. I want to say 2019, 2018, something like that. And I rewatched it a couple of times on Netflix. They took it off Netflix. They put it on Hulu. They took it off Hulu. They put it on HBO. And I had all these streaming services, right? And at some point, they took it completely off of everywhere. So I said, "Oh, really?" And I bought it.
You said enough is enough.
$14 well spent. $14 well spent because this is my favorite movie in the whole entire planet, and I will rewatch it 80 million times
I'm sure you could have gotten it on
till the day
like
I die.
Prime or something and bought it.
Okay. No,
Like actually I
I
have it on
need
both.
it. I have read, I want to say, 3 retellings, and I've read the original Phantom of the Opera. Um, my favorite version is the original story. It's so different from the movie, but I don't know. For me, it's like the movie and the book are just too like you have to separate them. But
Hmm.
my favorite version is the book, the original book. So good.
I feel
I
like
could
that's how
go
it is
on
with
for hours about it.
I feel like that's how it is with the Percy Jackson movies. Like the Percy Jackson movie and the Percy Jackson book are two different things. Both are great, but they are not the same thing. Like Percy Jackson movie is a great movie, but it is not the book. And that is what I hope the show will redo, will do it justice. But let's
Yeah,
be real, the Percy
yeah.
Jackson movie is amazing, and the casino scene is one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of our generation. Okay?
Yep, yep.
Amazing.
I actually first watched the movie and then I read the book. When I watched
Well,
the
that's
movie, I was like,
criminal.
OMG. Well, I wasn't into reading. So when I first watched it, I was like, this is so good. And then when I read the book, I was like, this is so different. But I was still into the book. Like, I loved it. But watching the movie and then reading the book, I was like, they're both good, but they're both so different. But
Yeah.
I will agree, the casino scene, best scene ever.
Oh my gosh, they did
Listening
not
to
have to
Lady
eat it up
Gaga,
like that.
oof.
Oh, and the casting
Listening
was
to
really
Lady
good.
Gaga with a pink filter on the movie was just
I think it's
so
so
good.
funny. I think I watched the Percy Jackson film for the first time. It had to be like in a hotel. Like it was in a hotel, it was playing, and I was like, this is fire. Now let's get into the fun part. My alt group is BTS.
What we're all here for, actually.
Right. My alt group is BTS. I've been in ARMY since 2020. I got into them when it was, I want to say, maybe like not like COVID, but like, you know, the months after COVID. Yeah, I was going through it, guys. I was furloughed from my job, so I was just at home going through it, okay? And then one day so I still remember this vividly. I remember it was a TikTok and Mic Drop was playing in the back, and I was like, this song is kind of fire. I was like, I'm gonna look up the music video. So I looked up the music video and I was like, this is really good actually. And then I think all armies know what I'm about to say. Carpool motherfucking karaoke. I put that little carpool karaoke on and I was like, yeah. I was like, this is it. It was like a light shined on my head and I was like, oh. it just it was perfect.
This
And
is my niche.
I was like, I found my calling. And I remember texting Ali and I was like, I just watched a BTS music video. I was like, I kind of want to get into BTS. And I had texted her because I knew previously back then she was into she had gotten into K-pop for a little bit and she had tried to get me into it and I was like, girl, no. I was like, I'm not into that. Look at me now. But
The
she
thing
wasn't
that
in.
every single K-pop stan says before.
Exactly. I was like, no, it's not for me. Yeah, right, girl. Be so for real. You just have to find your group.
Exactly.
And at the time she wasn't in K-pop, like she had gotten out of it, so she wasn't really interested. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on my own journey. And I went on my journey and I remember watching, like you said, the guides, the funny videos, the like all that stuff. And I remember at the time was when In the Soup, the first season had come out. So there was so much content and I went down a rabbit hole. I'm talking 4 a.m. staying up watching. There was so, like, when you first become a K-pop fan, like the amount of content that is there and available for you, it's like giving a kid crack. Like I was bouncing off the walls. Was bouncing off the walls. And my bias, drum roll please. Yoongi. My bias is Yoongi. That's my little baby, guys. That's my man. I am a military wife indeed. You know, I'm holding it down for my husband till he gets back from the
Power
war.
to you, queen.
Thank you so much. I need it in this time of need. So yeah, I'm holding it down for Yoongi. And it's funny because when I first got into it, I was like, oh, my bias is Jungkook. And then I feel like because when you first see a group, you get like an initial one and you're like, that one's mine. And then you get to know their personality. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, the little quiet gay one. I was like, that's mine. I was like, that's my little guy. And I vividly remember texting her and being like, oh my God, my bias is Suga. I was like, this, it just clicked like that. And that is my number one, guys. It's my baby. Will always be my number one. Go to war for him. If they would have let me, I would have gone to war for him, but it's whatever.
You and how many others, bestie? You and how
Yeah,
many
no,
others?
send me instead. Let me go.
I volunteer.
I was like, what purpose does a bad bitch have to be in an office for? Let him free. Anyways.
I think I had the same experience though with my bias. Like at first I obviously Felix's voice, you know, wow. And I thought he was just to me, like I thought he was just so pretty. I was like, OMG, like this
They're all so
guy.
pretty.
Right? And they are all so pretty. But something about Felix, I was like, damn, I really like this dude. And then, like you said, like I started, figuring out the personalities and like being like, oh yeah, like this guy, like that's so interesting that he is such and such, like, whatever. And then, I started looking up their zodiacs and their birthdays, and that's when they get you. That's when they get you when you start learning their names. Oh. And then I don't know what it was, but for me, I just realized now I never said my bias. So like I'm three Racha biased, but at the same time that I'm three Racha biased, I know that my little alt bias, that's Bangchan. That's my dude. That's my man. Don't nobody come between me and him. But yeah, once you start learning their personalities and once you start like figuring them out, you find your guy, like you find your bias. There's nothing that comes between you guys. Now that we're talking about this, like the K-pop and the guides and stuff like that, I just want to say, point it out there, anyone that's afraid to get into K-pop, anyone that's afraid to like start standing a group or something like that, do not be afraid. There are people out there that will take care of you, especially like baby armies, baby stays, baby moas, like baby anything. People will take care of you. You
Yeah.
just ask, like
I
just
think
be
there's
like,
such a
what
bad
guide should I watch?
misconception. Yeah. There's such a bad misconception
Yeah,
about getting into K-pop, and I think it's those, because let's be real, armies have such a bad like reputation. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, they're so mean. But those guys, those are not real armies. Let's be so for real. Like if you're on Stan Twitter or any kind of like just in person like army interaction, even at concerts, armies are some of the sweetest and nicest people, and K-pop fans in general. They're so nice, they're so caring. Like genuinely, if you have a bad experience, that is not a true BTS fan, because that's not what they stand for. And you'll go into like a space like that as long as you respect other people and respect the boys. Like there's no reason that somebody's just going to come after you. And I think a lot
yeah.
of people are scared to get into it because of like they're so scared. They're like, oh, I don't know the members. Like, girl, we all started out like that. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't tell fucking Yoongi and Tae apart, and now I'm like, what the hell? Like I'm like, I could tell them apart in my sleep.
It's also very intimidating because you'll see such a big group with such a big like fan base, and you'll be like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god, well like we can't share these guys." Like
Yeah.
guys, it's not about sharing them. It's about enjoying the moment. It's about like, listening to their music and being like, "Wow, this connects with me." And like even if you're not really into music, because some people will stand, because they bring them joy or because,
Yeah.
they're very happy around them and stuff like that. Just start little by little, watch those guides, start looking up their like Instagram accounts, their TikToks, watch music videos. Even if you
Mhm.
just get into their music, you could do that too. Like it's fun, trust me. It's a little intimidating at first, but it's so much fun. You
Yeah.
find so much joy and you really learn things about yourself. um Another thing is, I want to put out a disclaimer. We will not be talking about fan wars. We will not be talking about who is better
Yeah.
and who's, we'll always like congratulate groups and we'll be like, "Oh my
Mhm.
god, congratulations to such and such for winning such and such award."
Right.
I think, recognition should always be given to people, but no fan wars, no such and such group is better than,
Exactly.
whoever. That doesn't roll with us, only because
Mhm.
we do stand different groups and we do recognize people's talents, but it's just not cool, especially when people are starting those type of wars in the comments or like um saying things that would hurt the boys or would hurt
Mhm.
just anyone in general. Like, not cool, not cool, guys.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like even between our fandoms, like stays and armies, like I feel like there's always some shit going on. And it's like, guys, like
Hmm.
it is not that serious. We're here for the boys, the vibes. Like it's good if Stray Kids wins an award over BTS, then congratulations to them. If our BTS wins an award, like it's because of their hard work. Like it's to each
Yeah.
their own. Same thing, guys. Armies and Blinks. I know we have so much beef together, guys, but I really like you guys.
Mercy.
Some of you guys are really nice and like would love you. The girls are really nice. The boys, I'm sure they get along. Guys, we had a dating rumor that really brought us together. Hey, we were
Listen,
almost. Hey,
when
we
I
were almost
saw people
stepkids.
on Twitter,
Hey, we were almost family.
when I saw people on Twitter being like, I will admit it, I did go to the BTS concert. I'll be like,
Oh my
and
god,
freaking
literally,
power to
and the
you,
fact that
man.
they
Power
like
to
try to
you.
hide it, I'm like, girl, like
Those were so funny.
it's good. So the last thing for my solo intro will be what I'm currently reading, and I'm not currently reading anything. I actually just finished The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. So good, so cute. I wish I would have read it during Valentine's Day, but it was really cute. I really liked it. And then actually, this is a surprise for Ali as well. I got the second Throne of Glass book finally, so I will be starting that soon. So I'm very excited for that.
OMG.
Yes, I'm very
Yeah.
excited. Crown of Midnight. Hopefully, I can remember what happened because
Oh,
it's been a minute since I read the last one, but it's okay. So I'll probably read that, and I think that's the only thing I'm reading at the moment.
Throne of Glass. Throne of Glass is actually one of my favorite series. And I recommended it to Nani because Nani was like, I need to read a fantasy series. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, girl, read a Throne of Glass. So I was like, for every Throne of Glass book you read, I will read a book for you.
Mm-hmm.
So she read Throne of Glass and I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
So
Loved it.
good. It was one of my
Absolutely loved
5-star
it.
reads.
I will say though, I am giving her the benefit of the doubt if she does want to put Throne of Glass down. It's okay, bestie. It's a
Listen,
tough read.
it's a
It's
lot, and
tough
I don't
out
think I
there.
said this, but my main genre that I read is romance. So it is definitely a very big like there's not a lot of things that happen the same. Like I have to, like I'm gonna be so for real, guys, right now. If it does not have romance, I'm not reading it. Okay? I'm not reading it. I am here for the romance. That's it.
You're you're in for a ride on this one.
Oh
Trust me.
Lord. Oh. Oh. Um but
It's
yeah,
good though. It gets good. Trust me.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, I know I'm excited because I like Sarah J. Maas. Like I like her what you call it? What the fuck was it called?
A Court of Thorns and Roses.
A Court of Thorns and Roses. Yeah. Yes. But yeah,
That's funny.
I think that's it for me. I probably forgot so many things, but we're kind of running out of time here, so we'll go ahead
In due
and
time, we'll learn everything about each
yeah.
other.
Something that I did want to bring up was that every episode, most likely at the beginning of the episode, not like how we did it today. This was more of like a introduction. So at the beginning of each episode, we'll go and say our song of the week, which was our song that we've been really enjoying that week, and we'll share that with the class, and we'll talk about our favorite song of the week, and we'll put it into like a playlist eventually. So
Yeah.
if you want to listen, I mean, it's up to you.
We're gonna have all types of songs though.
Yeah, it's
It's
not just
gonna
gonna be
be,
K-pop.
I mean, like Spanish, K-pop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's gonna be a little bit of everything.
Yes, yes, yes.
What
Whatever.
would you say is your song of the week?
Um, I
I
have.
feel like I know what it's gonna be, but I'm not sure.
So I'm gonna do a little cheat because this episode has been so long in the making that I kind of have. Let's go for a 2-in-1. So if you want to do 2 songs, feel free. But I have been listening to "Angels in Tibet" by, I think her name is Amare. I think that's how you say it. I found it from Street Woman Fighter. Guys, so good. So good. And then my other song is going to be Too Much by JK. Such a good song. Such a vibe.
JK.
So those are my 2 songs.
I'm gonna say that I will cheat too. I'll
Mm-hmm.
say 2 songs.
Period.
I'm gonna say that I don't know because this album just came out, so I have a lot of favorites. But I'm gonna say that No Me Quiero Casar by Bad Bunny has to
Mm.
be up there. It's up there. It's one of my favorites this week. And then another one is going to be Zoom by Red Velvet. I know it's a little bit of an older song. It came out literally a year ago. But I don't know. Lately, I've been like replaying it. Like it's in here
Mhm.
constantly.
I thought you were gonna say "Zoom" by Jessie. I was like, okay, like go off.
All right, guys. So that was just a little bit about us, first episode introductions. Hopefully with time, like we'll talk a little more about ourselves, our favorites. Maybe we'll have some new favorites eventually. Um, I want to say that we do change once in a while, Our favorite songs may not be our favorite songs anymore. That's totally fine. New songs come out every day. New books come out every day. So eventually things will change. But hopefully you'll know a little more about ourselves, our personalities, you know, just our relationship with other people. And, you'll see more content. Definitely more
Mhm.
content, different things. We have a lot of episodes planned out, a lot of things that we're gonna do together and things we're gonna experience together. So yeah.
I know this first episode was kind of boring, but I feel like the first episodes always are. Like it's kind of just introductions and getting the little things out of the way. So there'll be more fun episodes. We'll talk about more things in specific, like you said. It'll be really fun.
I don't find you boring. I don't find you boring. Why do you say that? I think you're fun.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I'm your number one fan, bro. Come on.
Thank you. You're my bias. You're my ult.
Get out of here. Support anything you do, okay? I collect all of your photo cards.
Thank
You're
you so
just my number.
much.
I'm like, wow. That's so funny. I watch all your content, okay? God.
All right, guys. So, all our episodes are going to be coming out on Thursdays. So you'll have a new episode every Thursday. So this episode actually should be up. When is it? The 26th, I want to say.
26.
The 26th. So this will be out on the 26th. And we'll have new episodes out every Thursday. So if you want to make sure to follow us on our Instagram where we post all our updates and behind the scenes and everything. So it'll be Clinically Delulu on Instagram. So you can follow us there. And then on our Instagram, there's also our personal accounts if you also want to follow us on there. But yeah, we're so excited to start this journey with you guys. And I hope you listen to us. Oh, we also have a TikTok, by the way. Same thing, Clinically Delulu, if you want to follow us on TikTok. It'll be really fun, and
I
we are
will
so
say
excited.
we do usually post more on our Instagram only
Mm-hmm.
because, it's a little more accessible and it's a little easier. We'll post a lot of reviews on there.
Mm-hmm.
We're constantly reading, so we will also link our Goodreads, and hopefully you guys will like our reviews. They're a little chaotic. I will say that I just word vomit once I start writing a review, but the thoughts are definitely out there, and the Delulu thoughts, they're gonna continue, and you'll
Yes,
see more of
guys.
them.
We're gonna stay Delulu, and we hope you do too. And we'll be back next week with a new episode.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching.